So Delilah, first day back on the air.
First day back in studios in Seattle on the air here. It's pretty amazing.
So tell me what it's like to be back on the air. You're on 94.1.
I am, and I haven't been on the air here for a couple of years, which killed me. Because when I would go to New York, I could, talk to my friends there down to Florida, but I couldn't talk to my family and friends here in Seattle. So it's pretty awesome to be back.
Wow. So I want to go back to when you started. And when did you know that this was going to be as big as it has become?
Wow. We started this show, not the midday show. Last time I did middays, John, I was at KJR Seattle, Channel 95. That was many years ago. But the Delilah show started at KLSY, which is no longer around, in 1984 when my son was 18 days old.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
what can people expect with the new show?
The new show, we're doing it from 10 until 3. So I'm here during the middle of the day. You're going to work. You're taking the kids here and there. You're trying to do your cookie sales for Girl Scouts. Oh my gosh. So much stuff going on, and you can get frustrated and you can get exhausted. And so I'm here during the middle of the day to remind you what an amazing place we live, how beautiful Puget Sound is. How many just great things there are to see and do. Wonderful restaurants, the best views. Right now, skiing, Crystal Mountain is amazing. And just hopefully bring a note of joy to the middle of the day.
Yeah. Talk to me, how is this show going to be different from your nighttime show, which was kind of like pretty intense at times in terms of helping people out and giving advice?
Well, the nighttime show is still here, and on the sound you can hear me Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights.
Okay.
So I'll still be in the studio at night. Night times are a lot more emotional. The night times when the boogeyman comes out, you can be busy during the day, but at night that's when the emotions really hit. So the night you'll hear the same thing, Friday, Saturday, Sunday nights here on the sound. During the day we're a lot more lighthearted. During the day, people are busy and they're going and they're doing and they're figuring out, what to pack for lunches for the kids, and so it'll be a lot more lighthearted during the day.
So a lot of people know this, but you're not just a big radio star. This is part of a larger life plan that you have. You're about to adopt child number 14.
Number 14.
So tell me, where does that come from? I mean, I can't
a little
imagine
secret.
Adopting two.
I'll let you in on a little secret. When you have one, you have one. When you have two, you have 20, because their friends are always over. So, what's 13, 14 more on top of that? Really, once you have 3 or 4 kids, you're exhausted all the time anyway. And most of my children are children that otherwise would not have a forever home. Most of them are adopted out of situations where they would not have a forever home. Few people realize this, but here in America, we have over 500,000 kids. Well, 487,000 was the last number last year, 2017. 487,000 kids in foster care. Of those kids, less than 5% will ever have a permanent home. So I adopt kids that otherwise wouldn't have a forever home, and our family is a blessing. It's my life. It's my world.
Wow. And you started the Point Hope Foundation, 25 years ago?
15 years ago we became official. Okay. We went through all the legal stuff to be an official charity. And we focus on foster kids here in America, encouraging people to adopt kids out of foster care or mentor kids in foster care, be a foster parent. And then internationally, we work with children that are orphans and disabled and marginalized in third world countries, or developing nations is the term we're supposed to use, but in really poor places.
So where does all of this come from? I mean, this is a God thing for you, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It is totally. I have been blessed to do what I love to do my whole life. I mean, I've only had 1 or 2 other jobs outside of radio. I've been on the air since I was in junior high. And there is a verse that says, to whom much is given, much is required. And I have been blessed beyond measure. And I want to use the platform that God has given me to make the world a better place. It's that simple. Yeah. It's really simple. Yeah. Use the gifts you've been given Where your great talent, and you know this, meets the world's great need, that's where magic happens.
Wow.
And so when you take your great talent and you use it to talk about issues that matter, which you do every day, that's where the magic happens, and that's where you transform lives.
You lost a son last fall and went through, I'm guessing, just a terrible time. How has that changed you? And
well, Zach was actually the second son I've lost.
Okay.
I lost a son in 2012, a boy named Sammy, to sickle cell anemia, and that changed everything. And then losing Zach in October has just taken us all out at the knees. In some ways, I think our family is a lot closer. My daughter found out just a week after her brother left that she was pregnant. And so, you know, God's kind of given us that to focus on. But it's just one day at a time, 1 hour at a time.
yeah, there's no secret, is there?
There is no secret. I had somebody call me at the studio the other day and said that her sister had just lost her only daughter a week ago. What literature could I suggest that would help her through this? And I'm like, oh, honey.
Oh.
There's no literature. First off, the first month when you've lost somebody, whether it's your partner or your spouse or your child, you're in such a brain fog, you can't read anything. And the last thing that it did not help me when people would suggest things to help me. It doesn't help when people say, well, you need to do this or you need to do that or you need to know he's in a better place. That doesn't help me. So just love me. You know, just be there and love me. And that's what I tell people who are going through it now. Just be there and love on your family when they're in crisis, because don't suggest any books.
What do you hope that people get out of your show, your midday show, when they tune in?
I hope when they listen during the day that it helps them to realize we can't sweat the small stuff. You know, Seattle is growing, it's booming, there's cranes everywhere, and we feel this swelling of energy, and yet with that, with all the growth and all the good things that are going on, there's a lot of stress. And if you let the little things steal your joy, there's not going to be any energy left for the big things. So don't sweat the small stuff, and pretty much it's all small stuff.
We'll be listening.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.